Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we distill your source material into clear, actionable knowledge.
And our mission today is a really interesting one.
It is. We're doing a deep exploration of language, specifically looking at how we use certain advanced verbs.
Right, and not just to communicate, but to kind of elevate our fluency, and this is the key part, to increase our perceived intelligence.
Perceived intelligence, I love that.
Yeah.
Because that really is the differentiator here, isn't it?
It is. The source material we've got isn't just, a boring vocabulary list. It's a curated set of 50 advanced verbs.
And each one is meticulously defined.
Yes, by a single, very nuanced meaning. So we're moving way beyond just memorizing words.
We're looking for the exact right tool, right?
Yeah.
The one that can articulate a complex idea that a more common word just fails to capture.
Exactly.
I mean, think about the difference between just saying you walked somewhere versus saying you, sauntered or hobbled.
Mm-hmm.
That one single word changes the entire picture. It conveys your mood, your health, your whole state of mind.
And that's what we're going for, those moments of precision that really signal mastery.
And what's so fascinating is that the source provides all of this inside a very specific and I'd say high-stakes context.
It's basically a blueprint for accelerated language learning.
So before we can even get to the 50 verbs, we first need to look at the framework it gives us.
Yeah, because the commitment that's needed to master these verbs is, well, it's mirrored perfectly by the commitment required by the program itself.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the source material kicks off with this really detailed case study of commitment.
The mechanics of the Lingoda Sprint promotion.
Exactly. And you might wonder, why start there? It seems like a lot of background information.
It does a bit.
But I think the source is using this framework to establish the kind of intensity you need for real advanced language immersion.
That's exactly right. This isn't some passive program you can just dip in and out of.
No.
It's what you'd call a commitment device, and it's engineered for rapid transformation. The proposition is crystal clear.
Boost your confidence, your speaking skills, your fluency.
All in a really compressed time frame, just 3 months. And there's this huge financial incentive.
Right, the 50% or even 100% refund.
Which acknowledges a pretty fundamental truth about learning, I think.
Which is?
That just being curious isn't always enough. We often need something tangible, some financial skin in the game.
To enforce that discipline.
Yes, the discipline that's required for true, lasting change. And the source points to this refund as that crucial extra push.
The push you need to actually commit.
And when you look at the logistics they outline, they really reflect an understanding of how adults learn effectively.
Okay, so what are we talking about specifically?
Well, the run that's detailed in the source for context, it started on January 7, 2020.
Okay.
And it ran until April 5, 2020. The languages on offer were English, German, French, Spanish, and even business English.
So pretty wide range. That shows it's scalable.
It is, but the quality control is what's really impressive here.
Tell me about that, because that's everything.
The source is very meticulous. All teachers are qualified native speakers.
Crucial.
And the classes are available literally anytime, anywhere, as long as you have a stable internet connection.
But the big one, for me, is always class size.
And that's the most critical factor here. They keep the group sizes remarkably small. We're talking an average of just 3 students per class.
3. That's essential. Because in a bigger class, you can hide. You can just sit in the back and not say anything.
You can't hide here.
No. With 2 other people and a native speaker, you're forced into this state of, continuous engagement.
That intimacy is what builds confidence. It builds those speaking muscles, which is the whole point of the sprint.
And it's not just random classes either?
No, the structure isn't scattershot at all. Participants study a structured curriculum, and all the learning materials are provided.
So it's very targeted, very linear, which is a sharp contrast to how a lot of people try to learn on their own, which can be pretty chaotic.
Very chaotic.
So now we get to the heart of it, the commitment, the refund structure.
And the source really stresses that the difference between succeeding and failing, between getting that refund or not, it all hinges on one thing.
Reading the terms and conditions.
Reading and internalizing the rules of the challenge. This is the contract you're signing with yourself.
So let's break down the tiers. There are 2 of them.
Right. They represent 2 different levels of commitment intensity. First up is the super sprint.
And that's the one that promises a 100% refund.
It does. And to get it, you have to attend 30 classes per month.
For 3 consecutive months.
For 3 months.
30 classes a month. That's I mean, mathematically, that is a class virtually every single day.
It's a truly immersive environment.
And there's a genius rule in there, which the source makes a point of emphasizing.
Yes, the critical rule. Only one class per day is permitted.
So you can't game the system.
You cannot. You can't just try to cram 30 classes into 2 weeks and then take the rest of the month off.
That's fascinating. So why is that rule one class a day so important?
Oh, well, it directly enforces consistency and what's called spaced repetition.
Right, which are the cornerstones of long-term memory, and especially for fluency.
Exactly. Cramming might give you some short-term gains, but it doesn't build the muscle memory you need for spontaneous speech.
It's about making it a habit.
The daily commitment forces the language to become a seamless, integrated part of your routine. It's the difference between temporarily knowing a word and
Actually having it in your working vocabulary.
Precisely.
Which, as we're about to see, is exactly what you need to master the nuance of these 50 advanced verbs. If you're not practicing daily, you won't have the mental space to pull out the subtle difference between, say, to saunter and to hobble in a real conversation.
You won't. Then you have the slightly softer tier,
The normal sprint.
offering a 50% refund. This one demands 15 classes a month for 3 months.
So still a serious commitment. A class roughly every other day.
It is, but it provides a bit more flexibility for people with, tighter schedules.
And both tiers work on the same financial model.
Right. 1 payment per month for 3 months. And to get started, you have to put down an initial €49 deposit to secure your spot.
And the source even mentions a €10 discount code sprint
Right.
to soften that initial hit.
Right. And that refund, whether it's 50% or 100%, it includes that initial deposit.
So the fee gets transformed. It's not an expense anymore.
It becomes collateral.
Collateral against your own commitment. If you succeed, the language gain is the main reward, and the money back is a bonus.
And if you fail, the lost fees serve as this powerful behavioral reminder of, your lack of effort. It's motivational engineering. It's brilliant.
And this isn't some small experiment.
Yeah.
The source validates the model with scale.
Over 20,000 people participated in the 6 previous challenges over 3 years.
Wow.
So this is a proven system for driving high-commitment learning. And the impact they cite is huge.
It's not just about learning a language.
No, the testimonials transform it from academic learning to life transformation. Graduates traveling, meeting new people, getting promotions.
The promise is clear. Commit to this structure, and you gain real-world capability.
Which brings us right back to our deep dive mission. The successful graduate is now fluent. But how do they go from just functional to genuinely sophisticated?
They need the precision tools we're about to discuss.
The daily discipline of the sprint is the foundation you need to internalize the subtle differences between these 50 verbs.
So we're moving from the structure of learning
To the specific tools of advanced articulation, and the source groups them thematically, which is incredibly helpful for retention.
All right, it's time to upgrade our working vocabulary. Let's pivot hard into the deep dive into advanced verbs. We're starting with verbs of movement, holding, and physical presence. This category right away shows us the power we're talking about.
How so?
How advanced vocabulary can replace an entire descriptive sentence with a single, highly specific word.
It's all about efficiency, and we start with 2 verbs for holding that are often confused, but they carry really distinct emotional weight.
Number 1 is to clasp.
Which means to hold something tightly in your hand. The example given is, she clasped her hands together as she waited.
Right. And the word clasp, to me, suggests a kind of formality or control, maybe quiet tension.
A deliberate action?
Yeah, if you clasp a book, you're holding it deliberately. If you clasp your hands, it's a controlled gesture. You're waiting, you're anxious.
Now, contrast that with number 2, to clutch.
Okay.
This is defined as holding somebody or something tightly. The example, I clutched onto his shoulder for support.
So clutch implies something else entirely. Desperation, fear, a real physical need for stability.
The distinction is immediate and profound.
It really is. If I say, I clasped the railing, it sounds controlled and intentional. But if I say, I clutched the railing, you immediately know I was terrified or about to fall.
The difference between controlled possession and desperate need is baked right into the verb.
Love that. Okay, moving on to movement. We've got 3 ways to walk, and each one tells a whole story.
Number 3 is to saunter. To walk in a slow, relaxed way. She sauntered down the corridor looking as if she had all the time in the world.
That's an instant mental image, isn't it? Leisure, confidence, maybe even a little bit of arrogance.
Yeah.
No rush.
Then we shift dramatically to number 4, to hobble.
Right.
To walk with difficulty, specifically because of pain in your leg or foot. She was hobbling around on crutches yesterday.
It immediately communicates injury and limitation.
And then number 5, to stumble. To walk or move in an unsteady way. We stumbled around in the dark trying to find the light switch.
Okay, so hobble is painful, but it's usually deliberate movement. Stumble is clumsy, unsteady. Maybe you're in the dark, maybe you've had a drink.
Exactly. These 3 words, saunter, hobble, stumble, they replace entire paragraphs about posture and intent. That's the efficiency we're aiming for.
Now for movements driven by strong negative emotion. Aversion.
Number 6, to cower. This is to bend low and or move backwards because you're afraid. The dog whimpered and cowered at his feet.
It's a very passive, submissive action. It's born of terror.
And compare that to number 7, to recoil. To move your body quickly away from something or someone because of fear or just, unpleasantness.
She recoiled in horror after he tried to kiss her.
See the difference? Cower is the sustained state of fear and submission. Recoil is a sharp, immediate physical rejection.
Using recoil instantly tells you the event was sudden and visceral.
Look at how much energy we save by using the right verb. Now for some quick, forceful actions, number 8 is to yank.
To pull something or someone hard and suddenly, yank the door open and ran outside. No gentle pulling there.
Nope. Abrupt and forceful. Then there's number 9, which has this implication of guidance or status. To escort.
To go with somebody either to protect them or just to show them the way. Let me escort you to your room.
It carries a weight of formality, service, or protection that walk with just doesn't have.
For sure. Then we have number 10, to dash.
Which just means to go somewhere very quickly.
But the source highlights its social utility.
Yeah.
He says it's perfect for escaping an unwanted conversation.
Right. The example is, I must dash. It was lovely to see you.
That's conversational gold. It's a verbal escape hatch. I must dash. Sounds so much more elegant than I have to leave right now.
Much more professional. Okay, now let's explore subtle presence. Number 11, to lurk.
Oh, that one has a negative feel.
It does. To wait somewhere secretly, especially for an illegal or bad purpose. She saw someone lurking in the doorway and decided to leave immediately.
Lurk is just dripping with bad intent.
Now compare that directly with number 12, to hover.
Okay.
To wait somewhere, especially near someone, in an uncertain or shy way. He hovered over her, waiting for an answer.
So hovering is awkward. It's hesitant, maybe a little annoying, but it doesn't have the malevolence of lurking.
That contrast is a perfect example of how choosing the right verb dictates the entire emotional tone of a scene.
We also get a great one for abstract attraction, number 13, to gravitate.
To move towards something or someone you're attracted to? Many young people gravitate towards London in search of work. It describes a social pull, not a physical one.
And finally, for this first group, number 14, to peer.
To look closely at something, especially if you can't see it properly. He peered closely at the photograph.
The verb itself implies difficulty. The object was small or far away, or the light was bad.
That whole section has just dramatically upgraded how we can describe physical interaction. It's a complete system for conveying posture, speed, and intent.
And now we move into a crucial group, especially for professional contexts. Verbs of change, adjustment, and diminishment.
This next pairing is maybe one of the most important in the whole list for boosting perceived intelligence in, say, formal writing or speaking.
Okay, let's have it.
Number 15, to alter. This is the general term, to make somebody or something different.
Like you shouldn't feel the need to alter your appearance. It's broad, it's functional.
Right, but the sophistication comes with number 16, to amend.
Ah, yes.
To change a law, document, or statement slightly in order to correct a mistake or improve it.
The example being, would you mind amending those documents I sent you?
The power of amend is that it signals you're familiar with governance or law or formal processes.
If you say you altered the contract, it just sounds like you changed it. If you say you amended it, it sounds like you're part of a formal legal process of refinement.
That is the essence of precision.
Let's talk about changes in scale. Number 17, to balloon.
To suddenly swell out or get bigger, employment rates balloon to 90%.
That verb communicates not just growth, but rapid, sudden, and maybe even unstable expansion.
And the reverse. Number 18, to dismantle.
To take something apart, usually a machine or a structure, so it's in separate pieces. I had to dismantle the printer to repair it.
It's a very precise mechanical deconstruction.
We also get two great verbs for reduction that are perfect for editing and management. Number 19 is to prune.
To make something smaller by removing parts, please could you go through the report and prune out any unnecessary details.
Pruning suggests you're removing the excess to promote healthier growth, like with a plant.
And then number 20, to trim. To make something better, smaller, or neater by cutting parts away. Staff numbers have just been trimmed to 15.
So they're related. But trimming feels more about bringing something into line, making it efficient. Pruning is about quality. Trimming is about size.
That's a great way to put it. For a dramatic negative change, especially in finance. Number 21, to slump.
To fall in value, price, or number suddenly, and by a large amount. Profits have slumped by over 12% this quarter. So much more impactful than just decreased.
It is. Then we have one of the most wonderfully evocative sensory words on the list, number 22, to shrivel.
I love this one, the act of becoming dry and wrinkled. The long baths had shriveled my fingers and toes. The sound of the word almost describes the action.
It really does. Next, a crucial legal and contractual term, number 23, to withdraw.
To stop giving or offering something to someone. Unless you sign the contract within 7 days, the offer will be withdrawn. The verbal act of taking something back.
It's critical in any negotiation.
And finally, a verb that transitions us from physical change to psychological destruction. Number 24, to shatter.
To destroy something completely, especially someone's hopes, dreams, or expectations.
The example is powerful. He shattered her confidence when he told her how he really felt about her singing voice.
This is a perfect example of the advancement we're seeking. Shatter doesn't just mean break here.
No, when it's applied abstractly, it means destruction so complete there's no recovery. Only fragments are left. To shatter confidence is so much more final than just hurting it.
And this whole group, from the formal correction of amend to the psychological destruction of shatter, it gives a speaker incredible power to define the scope and intensity of any change they're describing.
Moving on to our third thematic group. Verbs of communication, secrecy, and disclosure. These are about the motive and manner of an information exchange.
We start with one of the most intriguing definitions on the whole list, number 25, to amplify.
Okay, but in this context, it means to add details to a story or statement. But the source uses it differently.
Exactly, it's used in the negative. The example is, she refused to amplify further.
That is a highly sophisticated usage. It's leveraging the expectation that amplify means make bigger or add detail, and using the refusal as a sign of authority.
I've said what I'm going to say. I will not elaborate.
It's terse, it's controlled.
Now, contrast that authoritative silence with number 26, to blab.
The total opposite. To tell someone information that should be kept secret, someone must have blabbed to the police. It's short, sharp, and implies an unthinking betrayal.
On the more formal side, we have number 27, to brief. To give someone information so they're prepared to deal with something.
The officer briefed her on what to expect. It's functional, preparatory communication. It's about enabling action.
And the covert side of communication. Number 28, to eavesdrop.
To listen secretly to what other people are saying. We caught her eavesdropping outside the window. It speaks to hidden information gathering.
And when those secrets are brought into the light, we use number 29, to expose.
To tell the true facts about a person or situation and show them to be illegal or immoral. She was exposed as a liar and a fraud.
The verb implies a whole process of investigation and public revelation, a downfall.
Then we have number 30, to command.
To tell somebody what to do. She commanded the release of the prisoners. It's simple in structure, but heavy with consequence. It conveys absolute authority.
And communication isn't always spoken, which we see with number 31, to glare.
To look at somebody or something in an angry way. She didn't shout, she just glared at me.
It captures that non-verbal intensity of pure rage. It can be more chilling than shouting.
It often is. And finally in this group, number 32, to gush.
To express so much praise for someone that it doesn't seem sincere.
Rachel is always gushing about how much he values Prue's friendship. This word is an immediate critique of the speaker's sincerity. It suggests they're laying it on a bit thick.
But that's a fascinating collection. It's not just about the words spoken, but the quality of the silence, the force of a command, the intent behind the listening.
Exactly. This precision elevates your critique from just saying she was mean to she glared at me. Now, let's transition into our fourth group. Verbs of conflict, difficulty, and intense effect.
Okay, we start with a magnificent abstract application. Number 33, to collide. Used here, it means to disagree strongly.
The example is, my partner and I often collide over political differences.
Think about the weight that gives an argument. You're not just disagreeing, your viewpoints are crashing into each other.
It gives an intellectual difference, a physical, visceral force. And that ability to apply physical metaphors to abstract concepts, that's a key sign of an advanced speaker.
Next up, number 34, to seize.
To take someone or something suddenly using force. He seized hold of my hand and led me to the exit. This one stays in that powerful physical realm.
And now for the struggles. How we define effort. Number 35 is to struggle.
To try very hard to do something when it's difficult. I'm really struggling to pay all of my bills on time. A classic, but crucial for conveying genuine hardship.
And number 36, to wrestle.
To struggle to deal with something that is difficult. We wrestled for hours with the problem of which task to start first.
Like collide, it's importing a physical, exhausting action wrestling and applying it perfectly to an intellectual problem. It implies a long, taxing mental fight.
Then there's number 37, to ignite, to start to burn, but metaphorically.
For an emotional response. Temper is ignited when the redundancy packages were announced. It communicates a sudden, explosive, and maybe uncontrollable start to a conflict.
For describing long-term consequences that echo through a system, we have number 38, to reverberate.
To have a strong effect on people for a long time or over a large area, repercussions of the case continue to reverberate through the financial world.
If you use reverberate instead of had a big effect, you are signaling that you're thinking about systemic, lasting consequences. It elevates a simple observation into analysis.
Number 39, to oppress. And this definition is very specific. It's focused on psychological weight.
To make someone only able to think about worrying or sad things. He was beginning to feel oppressed by his surroundings.
So it's not political or physical oppression. It's the crushing burden of anxiety caused by your environment. It's a very precise tool.
It is. And wrapping up this category, number 40, to upstage.
To say or do something that makes people notice you more than the person they should be interested in.
The example is perfect. How dare you upstage me at my own wedding?
It's a verb dedicated to the social crime of attention theft. Beautifully specific.
So we've built up this fantastic toolkit across 40 verbs, moving from basic description to advanced commentary on motive and consequence. Now for our final group.
Verbs of perception, determination, and desire. These are all about our internal states and how we focus our attention.
We're starting with how we observe the world. Number 41 is to detect.
To discover or notice something, especially if it isn't easy to see or hear.
The tests are designed to detect bacteria. This suggests a process, or maybe special equipment, is needed for the discovery.
In the source notes, this one could be tricky to say quickly. A little challenge for the fluent speaker.
Closely related is number 42, to discern.
To see or hear something, but usually with difficulty. I quickly discerned that something was wrong.
So while detect feels objective, like a test finding bacteria, discern implies a subjective, intuitive effort. You had to strain mentally or physically to realize something.
It's a subtle but important difference. For describing a strategic change, we have number 43. To deviate.
To do something in a different way from what's usual or expected. Let's not deviate from the original idea.
That's crucial language for project management. It signals a deliberate swerve from the established plan.
Number 44. To pinpoint. This is the verb of precision.
To be able to give the exact reason for something or describe it exactly, the report pinpointed the areas most in need of development.
It replaces clunky phrases like figure out the exact spot with a single, highly accurate word.
Number 45. To mimic.
Yeah.
To look or behave like someone or something else. His behavior mimicked that of his mother. Great for social analysis.
Now for our desire verbs, another crucial pairing for conveying emotional depth. Number 46. To crave.
To have a very strong desire for something. I've always craved excitement. Craze is intense, it's immediate, maybe even physical.
Right, like you crave chocolate. But then we have number 47. To yearn.
To want something very much, especially when it's very difficult to get. I've always yearned to escape from office life.
If you tell someone you yearn for something, it instantly conveys a layer of chronic longing and difficulty that craving just doesn't have.
The difference is profound. Craving is an appetite. Yearning is a deep-seated, chronic aspiration that often seems just out of reach.
Using yearn automatically lends gravity and significance to your desire.
Number 48. To capture. To film, record, or paint something. The source notes it's often used in the passive.
The robbery was captured on film by the security cameras. It's about recording something for evidence or posterity.
And finally, Number 50, to zap.
which means to do something very quickly.
And the context the source provides is a game changer for conversational efficiency. It says it's often used to replace the word to read.
I'll zap through this report and I'll get back to you in the morning.
That one word is the ultimate sign of modern business efficiency. Instead of saying, I'll read this quickly, you use one syllable, zap.
And that single word signals competence, speed, and efficiency, which perfectly fulfills the source's goal of increasing perceived intelligence.
And that completes our tour of these 50 verbs. We've defined them, we've grouped them. Now, let's connect it all back to that language challenge we started with.
This is where we synthesize. We have to revisit the nuances that matter most.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The whole point of the source isn't just knowing 50 words. It's about knowing their hyper-specific application. What are the key takeaways here?
I think it boils down to the power of context shifting. Let's go back to that professional language, for example. The difference between alter and amend. It's not just semantic, it's professional. If you amend a document, you signal that you respect its formality and you're engaging in a proper correction. If you just alter it, it sounds, well, arbitrary.
So you're using vocabulary to signal expertise within a specific domain.
Precisely. And think about the physical versus the abstract usage again. We talked about shatter moving from breaking glass to destroying confidence.
Or wrestling applying that painful physical struggle to a difficult intellectual problem.
Recognizing when a verb has jumped from the concrete to the abstract is the mark of an advanced, intelligent speaker.
They're using powerful imagery, a fight, a crash, a shattering, to describe these complex, invisible, emotional, or intellectual processes.
And we can't forget the verbs that are essentially social shortcuts.
Like using dash as that polite escape mechanism. It's brilliant.
Or peer, which instantly adds the dimension of difficulty to the simple act of looking. If you just say, I saw the details, the listener gets minimal information.
But if you say, I discern the details, you communicate the effort involved. If you use pinpoint, you communicate that your analysis was exact. The precision is just built into the word itself.
The source material explicitly promises this will make you sound more intelligent. And we've seen how it works through efficiency, but let's talk about the psychological impact.
How it affects the listener's perception of the speaker's internal state.
The contrast between crave and yearn is probably the best example of this. When you crave something, it suggests a primal, immediate desire, an appetite.
But when you yearn, it suggests long-term, maybe even existential longing.
Right. So if a speaker uses yearn, the listener understands that this desire is profound, it's difficult, it's defining. It elevates the speaker from someone describing a temporary want to someone describing a chronic aspiration.
That depth implies a more complex internal life.
And going back to oppress, that hyper-specific definition making, someone only able to think about worrying or sad things, gives you a precise tool for psychological description. You avoid generic terms like stressed.
You're pinpointing the mental crushing weight of circumstance.
And the power of zap. It reinforces the idea that precision can be achieved through efficiency. In a world drowning in data, using a word that conveys both speed and comprehension
I'll zap through that data.
is a direct signal of capability and time management prowess. It's professional shorthand that signals mastery.
And when we connect all this back to the Lingoda Sprint, it all makes sense. You see a coherent strategy.
The sprint requires that daily, grueling commitment to consistent practice. Why?
Because it takes that level of immersion to train your brain to retrieve the exact word amend instead of alter, yearn instead of crave in a real-time conversation.
The strict structure is necessary to embed this level of verbal nuance.
So we've taken a comprehensive deep dive. We went through the mechanics of committed language acquisition, the financial scaffolding that enforces it, and the 50 specific tools designed to elevate your articulation.
And the overarching lesson is that true fluency in advanced language isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about choosing the single, most accurate word for the moment.
It's having the precision to discern the difference between a minor alteration and a formal amendment.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? We know this vocabulary is designed to make you sound precise, intelligent, but let's take one final step back and think about the execution.
Our final provocative thought for you to take away is this. We just learned the definition of gush to express so much praise that it doesn't seem sincere.
Right.
So given that the source provides these 50 powerful tools for appearing highly intelligent, how does the overuse or misapplication of this vocabulary, essentially gushing over your own lexicon, undermine the very goal of clear, effective communication?
Mhm.
Is the ultimate mark of intelligence simply having this vocabulary? Or is it knowing precisely when to use the simpler word to maximize clarity, proving you can use language and not just display it? That's a question worth wrestling with.